Hello everyone, Ollie here from ℽ𝕣𝕖𝕕𝕚, and tonight we're back for our weekly episode of Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3. So, as usual with these reviews, before thoughts first, haven't watched the episode yet, but if you haven't checked out my reviews for Episodes 1 and 2, please do so. But regarding Episode 3, I'm hoping it's good. Like I'm going to be saying with every other episode. Obviously I did enjoy episode 1 and 2, and I enjoyed episode 2 a little bit more than episode 1, but both were very good in my opinion. And yeah, I'm trying to remember all the different things that happened in episode 2. It's kind of coming back to me now, because obviously I haven't really thought about it since last week, when episode 2 premiered. So but yeah, obviously I just remembered that obviously at the end of episode 2, Chris was getting in contact with the other Amelia Harcourt, which obviously he tried getting on with his Amelia Harcourt from the universe we know, but obviously she's got toxic masculinity, she's having problems, and she doesn't want any part of him. So obviously he's got in contact with the other Amelia Harcourt to see if, you know, if they can try and spark something up together. And obviously at the end we saw that she got back in contact with him and said hi, and then in this episode I presume we're going to try and see where their relationship goes with our Chris and the other Amelia. So it's going to be interesting if it does happen. I mean, it'd be a bit weird if it doesn't, but I expect it will happen, at least a little bit. So be interesting to see what she's going to be like compared to the one we know. You know, the toxic masculinity type of character, if she's going to be the complete opposite, or if she's going to be similar, if not the same. We'll see. But because it's a different version, I assume it's going to be different, but we'll see. Other than that, also I remember in episode 2, obviously John Economos obviously got, you know, teamed with the guy that I thought was an arsehole, the guy that called his teammates, you know, like Titties, I think he called one of his teammates. I can't remember the other ones.
Mexicali, you scan for any anomalies throughout that house. Pony Boy, don't let him out of your sight. Titties, I want you to take the front door. Encino Man, you take the back door.
Seeing him and John, I guess, interact again, maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll get on a bit more, who knows. But yeah, I hope this episode's good, really. I don't have much else to really add on, but I guess it's just time to get watching. I don't know how long this episode is. Doesn't say. I've got it up here now. Let me just quickly check. No, mine there's a fucking ad. I don't know. It's probably going to be around the same, like 45 minutes roughly. But whatever the case is, I'll see you guys on the other side. Hell yeah. Yeah. That was the best episode so far. No, I liked episode 1, as I said before. Episode 2, I was contemplating really if I liked it more than 1. I was like, yeah, I probably enjoyed it a bit more. But this, episode 3, it's absolutely the best episode. I can confidently say this is my favourite episode of all 3 episodes so far. So yeah, I don't think I can really say anything spoiler free-ish. I mean, all I can say is watch it. I mean, obviously watch the other episodes first in context, obviously, but you know, I guess if you were a bit conflicted with the first 2 episodes and seeing how things are going, like, I don't know, watch episode 3, please. But obviously if you're enjoying the ride like I am, then absolutely watch it. Either way, so yeah. I don't want to say to you, I want to talk spoilers about this, and I don't really want to be hinting at stuff. I'd rather just talk about it. So spoiler free is kind of over now. Watch the episode, it's amazing. By far my favourite episode so far of season 2. that's my spoiler-free review, I guess. Spoilers. Man, this is crazy, this episode, man. This, from beginning to end, man, it's so much stuff has happened since the last episode now. So, like I said at the end of episode 2, Chris gets in contact with Amelia Harcourt from the other dimension, and in this episode they end up meeting up. They end up meeting up in, I'm going to say the other dimension, not the one we know, the alternate dimension that we're in. And they meet up. Everything, now we're actually seeing kind of the whole dimension. This, like, we actually are seeing what this dimension's like. Everyone loves Peacemaker, unlike in the other dimension that we know. No one really likes him, and he's just like best dimension ever. Well, like when he's driving through the streets, everyone's like yeah, like that kind of stuff, and it's really cool seeing that he is enjoying it, because all he wanted in the other dimension was just to be loved, basically. And there were some people that loved him and respected him, but a lot of them didn't. And he's been beaten down for most of his life. And now seeing that he's gratified by a lot of the things that occurred in this episode was really heartfelt. And the one scene, and I'm going to go all over the place, but fuck it. The bit where it almost made me cry was the bit where him and his brother is sat down about to take a drink, and obviously his brother is really a little bit suspicious of what's going on with him, because he's acting different, because obviously he's different, he's a different version of himself, and he's like, oh, you can talk about anything, I'm your older brother and such. And then Chris just almost breaks down. He's like, you know, I miss you. Like, I'm like, oh fuck. She's like, damn it. Like, I was almost tearing up. I was like, damn, man, like, when you see season 1 and seeing his backstory and everything with his brother and his dad, and then comparing it to this other dimensional version of them, is crazy. It's a really good idea. This was a great idea to do this, like an alternate dimension. Not only was it clever for the DCU, because obviously they had to, you know, kind of course correct things, it's also great as a story idea. Like, the fact that you kind of turn it on your head, and the completely opposite dimension is the absolute opposite of what the one we know as. So his dad loves him in this one, his brother is alive and obviously also loves him. Amelia, you have obviously not really talked about yet, other than saying that obviously you got in contact with her. She's a lot more calm. She hasn't got any toxic masculinity or anything. Like, she's really cool, to be fair. And seeing them kind of hang out, and Chris is like really bewildered by all this. He's like, shit, I can't believe this is actually happening, which makes total sense. What else? God, there's a lot. The fucking opening of the episode, with Rick Flag sleeping with Amelia Harcourt, Amelia Harcourt from. It's going to be so confusing now, but the original Harcourt, the one we know, this is set 3 years before the events of Peacemaker. Or no, 3 years on from season 2, sorry. So this is literally the day where it's basically set in the Suicide Squad events, where Rick is about to leave to go on the mission with the Suicide Squad to Corto Maltese. And I'm like, oh my god, not only is Joel Kinnaman back as Rick Flag Jr., not back, but we go back in time to those events, and seeing him, that was a nice surprise. And the fact that he's sleeping with Amelia Harcourt, and I'm like, damn. I mean, now this totally makes sense why she doesn't like Chris, and the fact that, I guess since he died, you know, she's kind of become a lot more meaner, especially towards Chris, obviously, because he killed Rick Flag Jr. So it just makes so much. It makes sense now, and yeah, when you put it all together, it's like damn. So yeah, seeing Rick Flag and and his alternate self as well in the other dimension was really funny. The fact he was keeping an eye out on Chris and Amelia in the other dimension. Again, this is the other dimension, and he's just like sneaking up on them, like, creeping in the office, like behind the pillars and stuff. It's quite funny. And he ends up knocking over the bin, and it's just Anyway, that stuff was funny. Yeah, so many unexpected things that I wasn't expecting. Hence why it's unexpected. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Oh, the fight scene in the alternate dimension, where obviously Chris is being a hero, saving these civilians whilst trying to deactivate these bomb or a bomb in this building, and basically, taking out all the terrorists just before he deactivates the bomb. That was crazy. Yeah, a lot of blood and gore. Maybe not gore, maybe just a bit of carnage candy, I guess you could just say. Yeah, that was a great scene. Like, everything that I want in Peacemaker is in this episode. Like, everything, especially from the first season, you get in this episode, sorry. At least in my opinion. The way I saw it. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to really say. Some emotional moments, some really happy moments. The ending of this episode, obviously, kind of leading up to what's going to be happening. Basically, Argus, the team Argus, is going to be. They're actually about to gang up on Chris's house in the normal dimension, the one we know, and man. It's going to be crazy, the fact that it just ends. You're like, no, I want to know what happens. So we're going to find out next episode, in episode 4. So, yeah. What else? I don't know what else. I'm sure there's some more, but I can only get so much out, to be fair. Almost 10 minutes now, speaking. So, I'm just happy, guys. I'm really happy with this episode. I'm really happy with the outcome. Glad we did end up seeing Amelia in this episode, the alternate Amelia Harcourt. Which is obviously something that I was hoping for at the beginning of the video. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy, really. That's all I can really overall say. Best episode so far of season 2. Really looking forward to how they're going to be, doing episode 4. Yeah, that's about it, guys, really. I know, probably not too much, but again, can only get so much out. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week for episode 4 for the review. So, cannot wait. So, I'll see you guys then.